Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Moving Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by ToughPigs.com. It's the podcast where we watch Muppet Treasure Island 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Anthony Strand.
And I'm your other host, Ryan Rowe, and so far we've both said the title correctly both times. We didn't slip up and say the wrong movie.
I'm so proud of us.
Me too.
But today we are joined by a first-time guest, longtime friend, first-time guest. Guest, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Meagan Barbeau.
Meagan Barbeau from Tough Pigs.
Yep, that's me.
What a thrill.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. And Meagan is joining us to talk about minutes 3 and 4 of Muppet Treasure Island. In these minutes, we hear the rest of Shiver My Timbers and watch the pirates carry things around. So
yep, that's it.
That kind of is it. Good night, everyone. No, so the song, we just heard the very beginning of the song last time. Throughout the song, we really do see the pirates carrying a treasure chest. We very carefully, through very careful shot planning, we do not see any of our human characters from later in the movie at any point in these 2 minutes, clearly.
Oh, yeah. You're saying there might be a character that would be familiar to us?
There should be 2 characters that are familiar to us,
yeah,
right?
You're right, yeah.
Right, and we don't clearly see either of them here. So it's just a lot of extras. It's a lot of like feet and backs and hands.
They're kind of anonymous.
Right. But they're doing pirate stuff, and that's what's important, right?
Well, they have so many treasure chests that some of them are carrying them, some of them have ropes tied and they're dragging them like they're so heavy because they're so full of gold and treasure.
Right, they're pushing it along a beach.
Yep.
As we're going to see later in the movie. Well, we see them cut down some vines, which that's my favorite thing that the humans do in this.
Yeah, you gotta love that in any kind of adventure movie like this, when they pull out the sword and start cutting down vines.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the visual is just like we're going right into it.
Exactly, it's so thrilling. But aside from chopping down vines, most of what the humans do in this sequence is not very exciting, because a lot of Muppet animals keep popping up to sing extremely violent lyrics at us.
Yeah.
So that's to me, that's like what the whole thing is about. Like, we do see, and I want to save the end for the end. We end on a human moment, but I want to talk about that at the end of the clip. So should we get into the song, or do either of you have other pirate thoughts about the humans before we move on?
About the humans? No.
Well, I was kind of thinking about this because I feel like I'm overthinking the plot, because I was trying to think about it, and I was thinking while I was watching it, I was like, do we see any of these guys later? But then I feel like the whole point is that they all are dead.
Yeah, I think
right.
So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So now I'm like overthinking the plot, because I'm like, then who are the guys that were supposedly in his crew? Were they like from a different voyage or something? I don't know. You know what I mean?
I really feel like we're just supposed to see them from the back or something, right?
I guess, yeah.
I think they're in there somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people here that we don't see faces.
Right, but we do. I think we only see one person walk away, which is interesting because, as you alluded to, Anthony, there has to be at least one other person who walks away from this experience.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what's confusing me.
Yeah,
right. But so then getting into the song, we start with our old pals, the Ink Spots.
Yeah.
The first thing we see on screen are Ink Spots from Fraggle Rock, and they immediately cue us into how violent this is going to be, because it really is like, this is a darker than usual Muppet movie in general.
Yeah,
right.
And we're told that right up front, because the first line we hear in these 2 minutes is, ship across the ocean blue, a bloodthirsty captain and a cutthroat crew. And so that starts us off. And then a crocodile adds, it's as dark a tale as was ever told of the lust of treasure and the love of gold.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 2 things to say about First of all, is that like the first time that the Ink Spots have like had lines? Because like sometimes they kind of like are backup. And do like ooh or whatever, but like, is that the first time they've like sung full sentences?
No, because in what's the episode of Fraggle Rock about leaving your abusive boyfriend? The Incredible Shrinking Moki.
The one with Bagoonie.
Bagoonie, yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, when Moki sings "I'd Give My Soul," the Ink Spots sing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if you're blue.
Okay. Not familiar with that song.
It's one of my all-time favorite. It's like this barbershop thing. Moki singing lead, Ink Spots backing her up. You got to look it up.
I know it because
Classic.
It was on the VHS tape of episodes taped from TV that I had growing up.
Sure. And by the way, I was not kidding. That truly is the message of that episode.
Yeah.
It's about how Bagoonie keeps being like, if you were really my friend, you'd do whatever I want.
He's emotionally manipulating Moki.
Yeah. Yeah. And she is getting smaller.
Yeah.
Because of it. And then she has to get the strength to walk away. It's kind of amazing to me that Fraggle Rock did that story, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a Fraggle Rock podcast, but that is. I mean, I'm always surprised at the different things the different topics that Fraggle Rock was able to cover, like war and death and racism and all these things, and make it work and make it a kid show still. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's the thing. Yeah. So anyways, that's another great Ink Spot moment.
The alligator is this puppet will later be used in the direct-to-video movie Kermit Swamp Years as a more Muppety version of Arnie the alligator, whom we met in the Muppet movie.
Right.
I think I've only seen that all the way through one time, and I own it on DVD.
It's been so long since I watched Kermit Swamp Years.
Yeah.
I think I might have seen it a couple of times because I lived with my uncle and aunt for a semester in college, and my cousin Logan was kind of into it.
Have you showed it to your kids?
No, I haven't.
You sounded so offended.
I guess we might do a bonus episode on it.
I'm just like, no, I love my children.
I wouldn't subject them to such things.
Right. I'm sure they'd like it fine, whatever.
Yeah,
it's not like it's horrible. It's just nothing. It's like you barely notice it's there.
Right. Well, the other thing I was going to ask is, I was thinking, is this, do you think, the only Muppet movie that has the word lust in it?
I'm trying to think, because it seems like a word that Miss Piggy would say.
Exactly what I was thinking, but I can't think, like maybe on like a Tonight Show appearance or something, but I don't.
Right.
Like in a movie, I don't.
Or like even on the Muppet Show, I could see her like hitting on the guest and talking about how lustful she feels towards Christopher Reeve or whatever. You know?
Listeners,
he doesn't in that one. But.
Listeners, let us know when have the Muppets used the word lust.
Yeah,
I guess lust is in the Muppet Show Sex and Violence pilot as well.
Oh, that's
Seven
true.
Deadly Sins.
It's one of the 7 deadly sins. Yeah. But then we get others. I mean, the weasels pop up and those buccaneers drown their sins in rum, right? Like wild. It's totally wild. Like, not that the Muppets need to be like a kid-only property, but I do think it's fascinating that this movie starts out with like, get ready. There's going to be gunplay. There's going to be sword play.
Right. We're just over 2 minutes in, and this is what they're singing in this Muppet movie.
Right. And then, of course, the rhyme of those buccaneers drown their sins in rum is the monkey puppet that will become Sal on Muppets Tonight.
But he's naked.
I love Sal.
He's naked. He's played here by Jerry Nelson.
Yeah.
He looks directly into the camera and says, "The devil himself would have to call them scum." And that's my favorite moment. It's my favorite moment in this entire movie. Like, no question.
In the whole movie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
I love it so much.
I love Sal. Him and Johnny. I just love that duo together.
Me too. I miss him too. I was so glad that they came back in Haunted Mansion.
Mansion. Yeah, me too. I know. Well, that's the thing is though. It's like it's because it's Brian and Bill together. They just work so well together, and so if Brian's not, it just doesn't work the same. If Brian's not going to.
Right. Yeah. No, they couldn't recast him. So yeah.
No. Right. So, I mean, those are a couple of my favorite lyrics. Do either of you have individual lyrics you want to shout out? I don't know that we need to go through every line in the song.
I like, the next thing is these crabs. I don't know if we've seen, I feel like we have seen them in another
There's a lot of
production.
puppets in this scene that I don't recall seeing really anywhere other than, like you said, like that one random thing, like later or something. But a lot, Kermit Swamp is like, but I don't recall seeing them anywhere else.
Yeah.
But these are not the same crabs that we were talking about. Oh no, those were lobsters.
Those were lobsters.
In Christmas Carol. Yeah, you're right.
Get your
Yeah.
crustaceans straight.
Oh.
But they sing, every man aboard would have killed his mate for a bag of pennies or a piece of 8, and then it goes 5, 6, 7, 8, which I think that's great. That it's so,
yeah, I love that.
You know, we're putting on a musical number, even though it's about killing.
Right.
I noticed during that little 5, 6, 7, 8 part when the statue's in the front saying that, I noticed this is the first time I've noticed it, but like in the background, there's like on like the right hand side of the screen, there's like the pig like altar that comes up.
Oh, is
later.
that right?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's just like in the back, like like I don't know how to describe it. Like it's like a statue or something of like the boar with the teeth, and so it kind of is like, oh, they're on this island, you know.
Huh.
Sort of.
I don't think I noticed that.
Of course, they were already on the island.
Right, they would have been, yeah.
But I never noticed that before. But
the indigenous pigs.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, there it is.
Is this a good time to talk about the mosquitoes?
Yeah, let's talk about the mosquitoes.
Because it's the mosquitoes who sing 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
These are digitally animated characters, and they were created by the Jim Henson Creature Shop, and they were among the first digital animated Muppety creatures made by the Creature Shop. But they're not the first, and this is a trivia question that I wouldn't expect anybody to know the answer to. You might think that Waldo was the first, but they actually hired Pacific Data Images to make Waldo.
So it's not Waldo.
Right. So there were 2 digital animated characters created by the Jim Henson Creature Shop before these mosquitoes. Can you name either of them? One of them is so obscure, and the other one is also very obscure.
Were they like were they in like productions? Like, did they show up on like the Jim Henson Hour or something?
Not the Jim Henson Hour.
Are they in Billy Bunny's Animal Songs?
No.
Are they in Dog City, the series?
No, but you're getting closer.
Dinosaurs?
Bunny Picnic.
No.
Dinosaurs?
No.
City Kids?
No. Name another
Song of the Cloud
series.
Forest?
No.
Darn.
Another series between Jim Henson Hour and this movie?
Yeah. 1994.
1994 series. Not Aliens in the Family.
No. What'd you say?
Animal Jam. I don't even know.
No, but you're very
That's
close.
later. Oh, the Animal Show. It's
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking
it's
of.
Louise Gold on the Animal Show.
Tizzy the
That's what I was
Bee.
Right? Is that Louise or Karen?
I think it's Karen Prell.
Okay.
So yeah, Tizzy the Bee was a computer animated character created by the Jim Henson Creature Shop, performed with the digital performance system, which I guess is pretty much the same as Waldo.
So hey, I'm looking on Muppet Wiki. It was Karen Prell in season 1 and Louise Gold in season 2.
Oh.
That's why I
There
didn't
you
remember.
go. Okay.
I never watched much of that.
The other one.
It's cute.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I think
What I've seen of it is cute. I just haven't
those were
gotten around to
streaming
watching
somewhere
it.
recently, weren't they?
And they're on Roku channel with a lot of that Henson
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, it's pretty education heavy at times.
Right.
Because that's the point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the characters are fun. The other one is sometime around the same time between 1993 and 1995, depending on what source you look at, a character named Pixel they made for a BBC series called Tomorrow's World. That was one of the earliest attempts at creating a digital character at the Creature Shop. It was performed by Brian Henson, and I cannot find any video clips of it online.
Huh. All
I've
right.
never heard of that.
So there you go. Those are the ancestors of the mosquitoes.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're thankful.
I hope so.
The mosquitoes. Thankful to their ancestors.
Yeah.
So then I think the next thing we see is the Easter Island heads, right?
Mhm.
That's exactly how I described them. Yeah, in my notes.
Yeah, well, because that's what they are.
Yeah.
Like they just look like they're like puppet versions of the heads of the real life giant statue heads on Easter Island.
Right, but they look like pigs.
But they look like pigs, and they go oola waka, something's not right. And is it supposed to sound like Fozzie? Do you think it's Waka as a Fozzie reference, or is it a coincidence?
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah, me neither. I've never thought that.
I guess I assumed it was supposed to kind of sound like a fake Polynesian language, which now that I think about that is probably not great.
I'll get into that more later.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We will. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll have a lot to talk about during that scene.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then so we see those. What is it? Lots of wicked, icky things gonna happen tonight. Is that the lyric?
I think so.
I forgot to double check.
Like.
Yeah,
I didn't look. That's what
it's funny.
Like.
It's funny because my son Miles describes things as icky all the time if he doesn't like them. Things that he doesn't like.
I gotta ask: has he heard the song "Icky" by They Might Be Giants?
He has for sure.
Who's that icky guy? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think that's where he gets it from.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he probably gets it from my mom, honestly, who says icky a lot. But my favorite use of this is that we got the Garbage Pail Kids free comic book day issue.
Oh, nice.
And Miles consistently calls it Icky Man's.
It's descriptive.
It is, yeah.
I think I have that from this past free comic book day.
Past free
I
comic
haven't
book day,
read it yet. What a shame.
It's fine. It's actually by Sholly Fish. So it's not terrible.
Nice,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's better than you'd expect.
Yeah. I like these pig heads because the way their mouths just kind of open, close, open, close, open. They remind me of something you would see at a theme park.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's like the tiki room.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They remind me of Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, yeah, that too.
On Nickelodeon in the 90s.
Yeah.
Until you guys said that, I never noticed that they're supposed to look like pigs.
Oh.
I don't know why that never occurred to me.
Yeah, they're not as pig. They're not as piggish as the pigs, actual pigs.
They're
so long. They're so elongated.
Yeah, that's true.
It is more snout. Yeah.
Yeah, they do have snouts, which is different from the real life Easter Island heads, which have noses.
Right.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
We just kind of wrote it off as like a Muppety version.
Yeah,
sure.
It could have been.
Yeah. And then we see the skulls, and there's this part in the song.
The skulls, there's snakes.
Oh, the snakes are after before that. Okay, what do you got about the snakes?
Oh,
Ryan?
I just think listening to the whole thing, I think the Muppet performers probably had a really good time doing like kind of spooky voices for all of these little characters who pop up, and the snakes are a great example of that.
I really like these snake puppets. I feel like there's been a handful of different snake puppets over the years, and I don't know. I just really like the way these look. I feel like there's like Sammy the Snake on Sesame Street, and he's kind of a little cartoonish, and then there's that one in like the River Bottom Nightmare band that's kind of creepy looking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
these guys remind me a little.
They are kind of creepy looking.
Well, yeah, they remind me a little bit of the Nightmare Band snake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're not exactly, but I like their tongues hanging out.
Yeah.
Like how long their forked tongues are. Then we get to the skulls, and another one of my favorite things in this song is that when the skulls say their line, which is, and when greed and villainy sail the sea, you can bet your boots there'll be treachery. And as they're singing it, there's one voice which sounds like Jerry Nelson to me.
I think so.
Definitely,
yeah. Who's like a little bit off from the others and is kind of speak singing it, and that makes it so much creepier.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he's really not even
so
singing;
cool.
he's just shouting it.
He's just like shouting. Yeah, he's like a carnival barker or something almost.
Yeah.
And when greed and villainy sail the sea, you can bet your boots there'll be treachery.
This section with the skulls, is my favorite part of the entire movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
like that.
So we have both of your favorite parts of this movie in these 2 minutes.
When you Anthony was, before I chose which, what section I wanted to do, and Anthony was like, you can, choose whatever because we haven't really signed anything yet. And I was like, oh, I'd have to think about it. And then I thought about it for 2 seconds, and I was like, actually, the first 5 minutes is my favorite. I could just watch the first 5 minutes and then stop watching the movie. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
So I was like, how about you just put me on that?
Yeah. No, and I love that. Well, and also like me too, if I'm being honest. This is my favorite song in this movie by so far.
It's great.
But there is good songs. There's some good songs in the movie.
Yeah, there are some other acceptable, adequate
candidates.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys got a whole podcast to get.
Yeah, we got we're just gonna keep talking about the movie Muppet Treasure Island. But yeah, so there's that, and then like immediately after that, there's this high pitched wail.
Yes.
Oh, the
See, I'm too
Yeah.
early.
Right.
But yeah, then there's this high pitched wail,
mm-hmm.
which I think is so cool, and I don't know why,
Yeah.
like how they landed on that.
Exactly. Well, I don't know how they landed on that, or the Jerry Nelson shouting the line thing, or but yeah, it's eerie, and it just sounds cool. I don't know who that is singing that. Yeah. Part.
I can't tell either. Yeah.
But I like that it's there.
I wanted to say also like just like a little puppetry thing. There's because the skulls are sort of like separated. Like there's a bunch in the front, and then there's like the one Jerry Nelson one in the back. But then the Captain Flint like sort of walks between them, so he's probably just got like a small walkway to walk.
Yeah,
but at least he can look down, unlike Michael Caine or his stand-in or whatever in the beginning of Christmas Carol.
Yeah, huh?
I didn't think about that.
I bet you're right. I didn't think about it either. But also we see the pirates actually burying the treasure during the high-pitched wail.
Right, they're digging a big hole.
Yeah, which I think like it makes that more seem like a bigger deal too.
Yeah.
It's just like, look at this. They're like, because the whole movie's going to be about that buried treasure,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah, and it shows them like wiping their sweat and
right,
working so hard. And it's lit like it's this like orangey, like it feels like it's so hot. And
yeah, this whole sequence. Yeah, I love that it's. I guess it's sunrise or sunset, but yeah, it just feels sort of eerie and oppressive.
Yeah.
So there's one part when they're burying the treasure, and I don't know why, but it stands out to me every time, and it bothers me every time. But they're like lowering it into, and it's supposed to be like really heavy, and then there's one guy, and he like pushes it down from the top. For some reason. Like if you're lowering something and it's really heavy, you don't want someone pushing it down.
No,
you know what I mean?
That makes it heavier for everybody. That's
exactly.
Funny.
It bothers me every time that I see.
Yeah, you're right. Right at the end, right as Captain Flint's pulling out his pistols, right? That's what you mean?
Right. Yeah. He's like, I like that.
Yeah, he's like.
Wow, you're noticing all kinds of stuff. I gotta up my game.
Yeah, this is why we invited you here, Megan.
Yeah.
So that brings us really down to the end of the song. Then Captain Flint pulls out his two pistols, points them into the camera as we hear "Shiver My Timbers, shiver my sails, dead men tell no tales," and then he fires both of his pistols, which I'm no gun enthusiast.
But I'm not gonna curse. It's metal.
It totally is.
Yeah.
It rules. It's so cool.
It's so good. And then I stopped watching the movie.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the end. It's like Zack Snyder's Watchmen. The opening credits are real great, and then you don't need to watch the rest.
Dead men tell no tales, but do we know the origin of that phrase? It often comes up in pirate stories.
Yeah.
Good.
I should have looked it up, but
right, same thing. It's funny because I just thought of it as like, yeah, that's pirate stuff.
Yeah.
But you're right. It had to come from somewhere.
It had to come from somewhere.
I can find a live journal post about it, but I don't know that that's authoritative. There's a Motorhead song of that title.
All right.
They probably originated it.
Yeah, probably.
Well, we'll just have to do some research and
listeners, if you know when, we might have it next week. But listeners, if you know where Dead Men Tell No Tales come from,
it does appear in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney parks, but I know it comes from before that.
You would think so.
Yeah.
So, anyways, any other thoughts about the song itself before we move on to the opening credits of the picture?
Well, if we're gonna talk just real about like the guns part, it's 2 guns and there's 14 people. And I don't know anything about guns, but how long does it take to reload that? But okay.
Because it's not even a revolver, right? It's just like a single shot.
I don't know.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody else like stood up to him and like kicked him away, or I don't know. Like
apparently not. They were really big bullets. They just hit everybody.
There are cannons coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's carrying his mini cannons.
Yeah. But yeah, so first 4 minutes of the movie, all these guys get murdered. They're singing about killing and rum and the devil, and this movie is rated G.
Yeah,
Walt Disney Pictures presents.
it's true. Two G-rated Disney releases that year. This and Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, that's
another
was
really
G also.
intense one.
Wow.
That's G. Famously,
It's a really heavy one.
Lilo and Stitch is PG, and Hunchback of Notre Dame is G.
Huh.
Famously.
Wow.
Why?
Who knows? Lilo and Stitch is like the start of that, like, all kids movies are PG thing,
Oh.
kind of.
Thanks. We're
But it's
starting to
like-
shift.
The description says for sci-fi action and violence. That's what it says. Lilo and
Yeah, I
Stitch.
guess. But
I mean, Stitch does throw a Volkswagen at like bystanders.
well, I mean,
So
Count Frollo is, or whatever his name is.
that's his name.
It's a whole. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it. Anyways.
He's a creep.
He
All right.
is, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So then we do have a number of credits here. Not a ton. They actually come up really slowly. I feel like it's mostly about the song.
I think they want us to see the character. Like every time a Muppet animal pops up, they want us to see the character singing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But the first one that and actually a lot of them, as we discussed last week, are people who are back from Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
So we
they
already
just kind of
talked about
brought the
them.
band back together.
Yeah, it's a lot of the same crew. Starting with film editor Michael Jablow or Jablow, or I don't know, but he's back from Muppet Christmas Carol. So we talked about him last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then next one, also serving in the same capacity as Muppet Christmas Carol, executive producer Frank Oz.
I've heard of him.
Love that guy.
Yeah, I love him too. Although I get the impression he was less hands-on with this one.
Yeah, that
Like-
I've gotten that impression too over the years.
Yeah, this is kind of where that started. Where I think we've heard that Kevin Clash was puppeteering Piggy for a good chunk of this.
Piggy and Fozzie, I believe.
Maybe,
Both.
yeah.
Yeah. Because Kevin doesn't have any characters in like most of the scenes with Squire Trelawney.
Trelawney.
Yeah, I guess that's
You
true.
know, he's Polly Lobster in a lot of the parts and stuff, but
Right, that's his main.
not when it's
character.
like Bunsen and Beaker and Fozzie sitting
Yeah,
around.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
so I think he's doing Fozzie there.
Yeah.
And then next one is based on the novel by Robert Louis Stevenson, and we talked about him last week as well.
We did.
And we talked about how this is his first published novel
Yeah.
in a 13-year career that ended when he died at age 44.
Only
So,
13 years. That is
13 years
wild.
from the publication of his first book until his death.
Yeah.
So but he's just one of these names you hear now, like he's just like, that's a famous old author.
Right.
But yeah, died young and wrote relatively few books. That's why I'm not starting my, how does it compare with the book sequence yet? Because we haven't really, like, the book doesn't. I have read it once, and I'm going to read it again with the annotations as we go along. But the book starts at the Admiral Benbow Inn, so like there's no this prologue doesn't even exist in the book. So there's
I read it
nothing-
once, but I was in like 6th grade or something. So.
Yeah, that's about what I was
Alright.
too. Yeah, which was right after this movie came out.
Yeah. My
I mean,
goal is to read it again along with this podcast, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I've read Christmas Carol a bunch of times. I feel bad. I feel like I'm like, I established myself as the 19th century literature guy in the last season. And now I'm like, yeah, this book exists also.
Yeah.
Which is kind of how I feel about the movie. So I guess it's fine. But the next, and it's funny because it's based on the novel by Robert Louis Stevenson. Oh, okay. All right. Screenplay by Jerry Jewell. Yeah. My man.
Yeah, we love that guy.
So it says screenplay by Jerry Jewell, Kirk R. Thatcher is how he's credited, and James V. Hart. So
Well, notably, it's Jerry Jewell ampersand Kirk Thatcher and the word and James V. Hart.
right. So Jerry Jewell and Kirk Thatcher are writing as a team,
Yeah.
and Thatcher and James V. Hart then is separate.
Right.
So Jerry Jewell we've discussed many times. He was the head writer on The Muppet Show. He was the head writer on Fraggle Rock. He is a credited writer on 3 of the previous 4 movies that we've discussed.
Yeah.
He wrote hundreds of other hours of Muppet stuff.
Yeah.
And he's back here again. And his co-writer here is Kirk R. Thatcher, who we have, I don't think, ever discussed on the podcast.
Now that you say that, I don't think he's
We-
worked on any of these Muppet movies.
I guess
before.
we
But
talked about how
Any
the
bonus episodes even?
well, I don't
Can't
think
think
so,
of anything.
because yeah, he was on Dinosaurs,
right.
and he like worked on Muppets Tonight right after this.
Mhm.
But I think we did talk about how the Ghost of Christmas Present looks like him.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, he had
probably.
been around at the Henson Company for a while.
Yeah, right.
And
Right.
yeah, he worked on the Jim Henson Hour. I think he designed some of those characters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and same with Dinosaurs.
right. Actually, I think he designed Waldo. He had something to do with Waldo.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But like Bill Barretto, who we met in Muppet Classic Theater recently,
Yeah.
Kirk Thatcher will be one of the key creative voices of the Muppets going forward, like
Yeah.
from now on,
To this day,
Mhm.
yeah, right.
from this movie till today. Yeah.
Mhm.
And he directed like most of their TV movies and TV specials that they've done since, and wrote on a lot of stuff. You know, he directed like the Bohemian Rhapsody video. I mean, like that, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Like he directed
Right.
a lot of. So he's just like one of the main guys of the Muppets, and this is the first time we've seen his name in the credits on a movie. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
James V. Hart, this is his only Muppet credit. Although, didn't you say he co-wrote Jack and the Beanstalk? Did you tell me that? Ryan?
He did.
Or am I thinking of something
Yeah, I
else?
have a little bit more on his relationship to the movie.
So what he is best known for, and I think the reason he worked on this movie, is that he is a screenwriter who specializes in literary adaptations.
Ah,
So
okay.
he wrote Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula. He is a credited producer, but actually wrote most of the screenplay of Kenneth Branagh's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. And he wrote Hook, the Steven Spielberg Peter Pan movie,
Hmm.
and he wrote Contact, the Robert Zemeckis movie
Which-
based on the Carl Sagan novel.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. And
Right.
there was, I think it was on Vulture or maybe Hollywood Reporter a year or two ago. There was a lengthy oral history of Contact, which was really fascinating if you are interested in things like how movies get made, because that movie went through so many different screenplay drafts that were so different from each other. And then like James Hart came in fairly late in the process to kind of fix, like after Robert Zemeckis became the director, I think was when they brought James Hart in to make the movie more like what Zemeckis wanted it to be.
Sure. Huh. And then the other one that I wrote down is the version of Tuck Everlasting with Alexis Bledel
Yeah.
and Sissy Spacek and Pete Postlethwaite. So yeah, like almost everything is an adaptation of a novel.
Right.
Some old, some new, but like that's what he does.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. So that's why he's here. But you said you have a couple other notes, Ryan?
Yeah. So I actually have a screenplay draft from June 1st, 1994 that I'll be comparing things to as we go along. That draft, by that point already in 1994, it's credited to Jerry Jewell and Kirk Thatcher as first draft screenplays and Jim Hart as revised script scenario. And then all three of them are credited for revised screenplay. So I don't know how many total drafts this movie went through, but this, that's almost 2 years before the movie came out. I don't know exactly when they started filming, but I guess it went through many drafts and he was brought in at that point. Kirk Thatcher did an interview with Sci-Fi Wire a few years ago, and he, among other things, he revealed it was his idea. It was Kirk Thatcher's idea to follow up Muppet Christmas Carol with a Muppet pirate movie. And that's how they landed on Treasure Island. The other option they were considering was King Arthur, which is interesting because there was a Muppet King Arthur comic book a few years ago. I think that I don't know if that I would want to see King Arthur necessarily, but a Muppet, like, Knights and Sword and Sorcery movie might be fun.
Sure. Yeah.
And
I agree.
then the Sci-Fi Wire article also says Kirk Thatcher and Jerry Jewell wrote their drafts. There were some parts that were a little too crazy. Hart was brought in to help, quote, rework the middle bridge of the script to adhere more to the novel, including the Long John Silver and Hawkins relationship. So That just to give you an idea of why they decided to bring in this other guy who had never worked with the Muppets before.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, it's interesting to me that Jerry Jewell is the only credited screenwriter on Muppet Christmas Carol. And as far as we know, truly wrote that script by himself.
I think so, yeah.
Obviously, I'm sure other people had input and made notes and obviously.
Yeah.
But like, he's the screenwriter, and I don't want to spend, I've said this, I don't want to spend this whole season like knocking this movie. But I think it's interesting that Jerry Jewell like sat down with A Christmas Carol and was like, I know how to do a Muppet version of A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And he sat down and he made it sing, And this one is like, well, we got to figure out how to do a Muppet version of Treasure Island. I'm going to need Kirk Thatcher. I'm going to need this other guy who adapts novels. You know what? It's just, it feels like the inspiration wasn't there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's unfair.
Well, as we've said, this adheres less closely to the book than Christmas Carol did. And I don't know if that means maybe they should have looked around
Mr.
a little
Bimbo
more.
Isn't in?
Mr.
Bimbo isn't in the
Bimbo is
original
not in
novel?
the book.
No.
Maybe that means they should have looked around at other classic books to adapt before settling on this one, and maybe look for one that might have been easier to attach the Muppets to.
Well, the internet has lots of opinions on
Oh,
what that
they
should
sure
be.
do. Every movie, every book should be made with the Muppets, if you ask the internet.
Yeah,
But one person is a human.
Right.
One human. I may have said this on the podcast. I don't think I have, but the one that amuses me the most of that is Pride and Prejudice is one that you see a lot.
Yeah,
And
I feel
that
like I've seen that one a lot.
and it seems to ignore that there are like not enough female Muppets to play the Bennett family. I when people say that, I don't think they're imagining like Mildred as Mrs. Bennett and like Miss Mousy as Kitty. But like that's what it would.
Like if you ask them to think about it for a few more. Tell me your casting. Who are you thinking?
Exactly.
So you got Miss Piggy.
So
Janice,
Miss Piggy.
Yeah. Camilla. If you really need.
Miss Piggy is Lizzie. Janice is Jane. Like okay, that's fine.
And then
that's
you're stuck.
Good.
And then,
but I mean, like, okay, Annie Sue is Kitty and Miss Mousy is Mary, right?
But if we're talking about like some person on the internet, they
right,
don't know who Miss Mousy is.
Right, that's the thing.
So that's what I'm saying. If you ask them to cast it, who are they saying?
I don't know how many characters there are, but is there a role for Denise? Is there a role for
Denise? Denise could be Lydia, maybe. Denise is Lydia and Annie Sue is.
I've never read Pride and Prejudice, but what about Penny Waxman? You got to include her now.
Penny, yeah.
When you're casting, when you're dream casting,
Penny Waxman could be Caroline Bingley. I feel like.
Okay, I have no idea, but listeners, tell us if you think that's a good idea.
Hey, listeners, write in your casting for Muppet Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
No, what I was about to ask, the whole thing about the Silver and Hawkins relationship coming from James Hart, I can definitely see Jerry Jewell and Kirk Thatcher writing a script and the Henson people saying like, okay, this is a little too silly. We need to make this a little more grounded. But I'm trying to remember in the book, Treasure Island, Sans Muppets. There's not quite as much of the Long John Silver and Jim Hawkins relationship, I guess. Not quite the father and son dynamic as in the movie.
Sure. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we will see. But I guess, yeah.
I'm curious if, there's, I don't know, like at what point did they always in the process of writing this, were they thinking the whole time like Jim's going to be a human and Long John Silver is going to be a human? You know what I mean? Like,
I know Brian Henson on the bonus features on the DVD. There's like a half-hour featurette. And in that, he says that they talked about Gonzo and Rizzo being like the Jim Hawkins role.
Right. I think at one point Gonzo was going to be called Jim and Rizzo was going to be called Hawkins.
Right.
They were
Yes,
just
that's
going to be the main characters of the movie.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. And then they decided that like they couldn't have the core emotion.
Right. I think that's another thing when they decided to bring Hart into the screenwriting.
I feel like Gonzo could carry that emotion, but whatever.
Yeah. So maybe just have Gonzo take that on and Rizzo's just his sidekick. That could work.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, as we'll discuss, like, I think the relationship between Long John and Jim, I think that stuff works. Like, I'm not,
I think so.
Me too.
Yeah, I think
You
it's
know?
nice.
So there's one more credit in the movie before we get shot in the face, which is directed by Brian Henson, and we know him. That's the guy from the Muppet Show VHS intros.
Actually, there's a credit before that.
Yeah.
Oh, there was. What was
produced
it?
by Martin G. Baker and Brian.
Oh, produced by Martin G. Baker. And was there somebody else?
And
Brian.
Henson.
And Brian Henson.
I'm
right?
pretty sure we talked about Martin Baker.
I got to write it down. We
did.
did. Yeah,
Talk about how he has a mini cameo kind of in this movie.
No, where's that? Remind me.
Well, not really a cameo, but like in the next clip you guys will watch, there's like a Stein in the bar that's like supposed to look like him, and he has a line.
Whoa.
Oh,
I found that out in my research here.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for telling us.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, fun. We'll have to keep an eye out for it.
Huh.
That's awesome. There he is. Yeah, but he produced the Muppet movie and Muppet all the movies or not? I think. Let's see.
A lot of
there was a lot.
He did not produce Manhattan.
Okay.
He is a producer or co-producer on.
I'm looking at my poster of the Muppets 2011 movie right now, and his name is on that. So
his name is on that. Yeah, it looks like as far as movies go, just Christmas Carol, this one, Space, and 2011. Okay. Not the first three at all. Interesting.
That is interesting because he was on the Muppet Show a lot.
Yeah. So at least that's what Muppet Wiki says.
They're usually trustworthy.
He did produce a special called Magic, starring Blackstone, that had Statler and Waldorf in it.
What, really?
Yeah, that's listed in his credits on Muppet Wiki.
Oh wow, where can I find that?
1983, aired right here in Minneapolis on KTCA.
It was a local production,
which is now called TPT.
Huh?
That's what it says here. Yeah.
Wait, so
what year was that?
Might be.
It says the 1983. The hour-and-a-half special stars magician Harry Blackstone Jr., who we all know from Reading Rainbow.
Well, and Square One, right? He had a regular segment on that.
Yeah. Putting on a grand magic show in the tradition of vaudeville at the Orpheum Theater here in Minneapolis, which the Marx Brothers opened, as you probably know, Ryan.
Wow. Yeah.
And we went to see Frozen, the tour of Frozen the musical there, and in the playbill it says like opening with the famous Marx Brothers on the bill in 1921 or whatever. But it says Jim Henson and Richard Hunter given on-screen credit for the roles. Joseph A. Bailey is credited as writer for Statler and Waldorf scenes.
Okay.
And Martin G. Baker is listed as an associate producer. So.
Wow. Well, I learned something new.
Yeah, me too. Now I want to go find it. It must be out there. Maybe not.
Yeah,
I just love magic, so I kind of want to see it.
Me too. Yeah. I actually saw Harry Blackstone. My family took a trip to Las Vegas in the 90s. It was toward the end of his life, I guess. But yeah, it was just a fun kind of old-fashioned magic show. Yeah.
I have no interest in going to Vegas because I don't drink or gamble, but
I
love magic, so I want to go just for
time where they were really pushing Las Vegas as a family destination. I don't think they're doing that anymore. But,
that's where all the big magic acts go.
Yeah, that's true.
So
David Copperfield has a residency there.
Yeah.
And Penn and Teller.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah. Penn, the host of the game show Identity. Remember that? Remember when Penn hosted a game show in the post Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game show craze?
There were so many of those game shows, I don't remember.
Identity. Oh, it was bad. But I remember it mostly for, it was something about people wearing masks or something. And the commercial had Penn saying, "What is your identity?" I remember that.
Okay, that's another thing for me to look up.
So then we finally do get, thank you for the correction on Martin G. Baker, by the way. Then we do get directed by Brian Henson, and we know him. That's the guy from the Muppet Show VHS intros.
Right. Hi, he's Brian Henson.
Hi, my dad. All right. He directed the last one too, so we've already talked about him.
Yeah, and I think I said this a lot last time. I think he's a very good technical director. I think it shows in this one as well as in the previous one. And I wish he would direct more movies, potentially not even Muppet movies.
Yeah, like the Happy Time Murders, your favorite movie.
Not even puppet movies then. I don't know.
Yeah, just make stuff.
Yeah.
It makes me sad because Happy Time Murders makes me sad, not because it is what it is, but because I just feel like Brian and Bill, I just get the feeling that they wanted to make something totally different. And then they also weren't really happy with.
Happy
just
Time
Yeah.
Murders was
gotten.
in development for
And they
so
weren't happy
long.
with it.
Yeah.
How
Right,
it came out really either.
Yeah, it seemed like it in their head it was going to be like a Michael Mann movie or something, right? Like it was going to be.
Yeah.
It
From
was gonna
Roger
be-
Rabbit, kind of.
I think there must
Yeah.
have been some compromises once they, actually got a studio and got Melissa McCarthy attached.
Yeah, because wasn't it going to be like Jamie Foxx at some point?
At one point, it was Jamie Foxx. At one point, it was Katherine Heigl. Is that right?
Huh.
So it went through so many changes because it was, like you said, it was in production for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
We are not planning to cover Happy Time Murders on the podcast.
Not even a bonus.
I've never seen it. I've still never seen it.
Oh, it's bad.
For sure, no
Yeah.
one has ever told me like you got to see like.
It's like I said, I just anyways, go ahead, continue. It's not.
Yeah. So then, last thing after the fade to black, we very briefly start the next scene. We hear our narration. We get a smidge more narration saying, "Oh, only 15 men went ashore that day, and only." That's where we cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Only Fiorello LaGuardia walked away.
Yes, it was only. It was only Frank showed up on set that day. So anyways, that's the end. Any other thoughts before we move on about these 2 minutes of the movie? Megan, I'll start with you.
I don't think so.
All right, Ryan.
That's all I got, actually.
All right, great. So then Megan's our first guest this season, so we're going to start asking our regular questions. And the first one is, Megan, what's your history with the movie Muppet Treasure Island?
I don't really know what my history with the movie is, honest. I can't really remember. I feel like I saw it like once or twice as a kid, but it wasn't one that we owned. So
Okay.
It wasn't one that I watched regularly. But I will say this. Do you remember the Kokomo thing that they
Yeah,
did?
the music video. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever VHS or whatever that was on, I did not own it. But at some point, I saw the Kokomo video. I feel like pretty often. I feel like I know that video really well from my childhood, but I have no idea where I saw it.
It was on, like, I know off the top of my head, it's on Muppet Classic Theater because we watch that all the time in my house. It's on Muppet Family Christmas VHS release.
Huh.
See, I don't have any of that, so I don't know where I saw it.
Did you have the Muppet sing-along video? I think it was called "It's Not Easy Being Green."
I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't know. But for the longest time, I thought that was like somehow associated with Muppet Treasure Island because it's like a beach thing.
It's like at the beach. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I thought that it was maybe some kind of promotional thing for that or something. So, then I saw the movie much later and was like, nope, that's separate. But the only time I really like remember sitting and watching it was, at some point, like for the first time was like after, I really got into the Muppets, probably about like 2010 or so. Yeah. And I, when Steve Whitmire, like a handful of years ago, he did that like giveaway raffle thing where he was giving away like a bunch of his merch.
Oh, like memorabilia.
Sure,
that he accumulated.
Doing the raffling it off and donating the money for Center Pub Treasure. I got the Muppet Treasure Island package.
Oh,
so
nice. So what's in there?
There was a little there was a Kermit plush, which is still in its packaging as Captain Smollett is in my closet in there. And then I got a storybook and a little kid's cup and the crew hat, which I got right here. And it's
that's signed by Steve and Kermit?
And Kermit, yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's cool, yeah.
So that is my history with this movie.
Great. Second one is, where do you rank it among the Muppet movies? And your previous comments would suggest not too high.
But also not too low.
Okay.
I would rank it right in the middle.
Okay.
So like the like the middle. Yeah, I would say, because I like the original three, of course, and Muppet Christmas Carol and Muppets Take Manhattan is like tied for number one for me.
Okay.
A lot of nostalgia for both of those and stuff, and I owned both of them growing up and stuff. But yeah, Muppet Treasure Island, I yeah, probably in the middle. I'm really like critical of the newer stuff, probably wrongfully, but
Well, whatever. I don't
a
think
lot of it.
A lot of people are.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think there's wrong
so-
or right
well,
opinions about Muppet
Yeah,
movies.
I don't like hate it or anything. I just have a lot of opinions surrounding that. So
Sure.
I like the I like the 90s stuff. I think it's pretty good. So yeah, it's in the middle for me. It's nothing amazing. It's not like at the top, but yeah, I don't think it's not way at the bottom either.
Sure. All right, awesome. And then the last question is, do you watch it every September 19th, International Talk Like a Pirate Day?
Maybe now I will. I do not, but maybe that should become a tradition for me.
Yeah, it's something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ask that question to every guest, but I just wanted to the first time.
Mhm.
Well, Anthony, do you watch it every Talk Like a Pirate Day?
Do you? No, no, I do not.
No, neither do I.
I don't think I ever have watched it on that day.
Hmm.
Maybe I should.
You watch anything in particular on that day? Like a pirate movie marathon day?
No, I should. Yeah,
Hmm.
I watch
What
Treasure
else?
Planet every year.
There you go.
They made 5 Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Some of them are good.
Yeah, that's true.
Some of them are good. Some of them are extremely not good.
I like
one
the
with-
first one.
Yeah, I was gonna
The
say
one with Paul
one of them
McCartney
is
in it.
good.
Oof.
There's a YouTuber, Jenny Nicholson, and she said in like a video one time, and she was like saying that the problem is that like with Jack Sparrow, like they didn't write him to be that way. Johnny Depp just kind of performed him that way.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that's why it works the first time. And then after that, they're trying to write him that way. You know,
Right.
and that's why it stops
Oh.
working.
Yeah.
Too
And I
much.
feel like
Yeah,
that
no,
kind
that
of-
makes
in their heads.
sense. All right. That brings us down to the end of another one. We will be back next week with yet I'm like still not used to the idea that we're doing a whole season.
We are. We're gonna
And-
keep
and
on
we
doing
have-
this.
I'm
We're
so
gonna-
excited to listen to it.
Oh, good. I'm
Love
so
this
glad.
podcast.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's what I like to hear. I like it when our guests don't tell us this podcast is garbage. Finally,
Yeah.
finally some quality, because I should have. But we will be back next week with another episode. In the meantime, you can check out toughpigs.com on the internet, Facebook, Blueski, Mastodon, Google Buzz, Google Wave, Friendster,
Carrier pigeon.
Live journal.
Yes, LiveJournal, Telegraph. We are sponsored by Jello on NBC at the same time. But in real life, you can, should you so choose, you can become a patron of ours on Patreon. We would love that. You can always email us at movingrightalong@toughpigs.com. You can follow Ryan on Blue Sky at me, Ryan Rowe. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Durwood Clapper. You can follow.
I love that. I didn't know that. Oh,
You didn't know that? Thank you. Thank you. And you can follow Ryan on
Does
Letterboxd
everyone know?
at
Do you think that Durwood Clapper is a character from the My Muppets Show mobile game?
everyone on Earth. Yes,
Okay,
knows
good.
that.
Good. Just checking.
Yes.
It's essential knowledge, you know.
Yeah, just everyone. When you think Muppets, you think Durwood Clapper
Yes, of course.
going ba-dum ba-dum dum, ba-dum ba-dum dum. All right. You can follow Ryan on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat, and you can follow me on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist. Megan, where can our listeners find you online should you choose to be found?
I'm also on Letterboxd, and I'm trying to do it a lot more regularly than I was. I'm posting a lot of my little reviews on there. So I'm on there is Meagan MB, so that's MEAGANMB. And I designed a handful of designs for the Tough Pig store.
Yeah,
That-
good ones.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really nice designs, not just the ones that I did. But and I'd like to do some more at some point when I have the time, but I don't know when that will be.
Sure. You did one of my favorites, which is the Pete's Luncheonette.
Mm-hmm.
Today's
Yep.
special Yankee bean soup with spoon shirt, which I have that one and I love that.
Yeah.
I got that one for Christmas
Yeah, you got it for Christmas.
My family bought that for me for Christmas.
And remind me, and we can cut this out if not. But did you do the Fozzie and Mom one?
Yeah, I did all those, or most of the like logo ones. I did the Fozzie Mom one, the Miss Bogan County, the Mallory Gallery,
Dubani Supper Club, right?
Yeah, the Dubani Supper Club. I also did that like snout one, the Tough Pig snout.
Oh right, yeah.
Fozziewig and Mom was so popular during the holiday season.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I hope it looked good printed out.
It looks great. Roz has that one. I think I might have already said this on the show, but the last Christmas, like not this most recent one, but the one before that, we each agreed to surprise each other with a Tough Pigs t-shirt for Christmas.
Oh, that's fun.
And she got me the Pete's Luncheonette one, and I got her Fozzie and Mom. So,
Oh,
and they both look great. So yeah.
Great.
And thank you so much for joining us, Meagan.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad we finally had you on. It feels like we should have a long time ago. So I'm glad that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you as always, to Morgan Davy for designing our logo, and to Katie Lynn Miller for transcribing this and all of Tough Pigs podcasts. And thank you, listener, for writing us that positive review that we cherish, have printed out, and read every night.
It's true.
And tell all of your friends to listen to Moving Right Along, because we'll be back next week with another one. See you then.
Dead men tell no tales.
5, 6, 7, 8.